Alliance for Educational Options, BAEO is how it's most frequently referred to, and selected as the organization's president in January of this year. Kenneth, it's great to have you here.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you. Now, we're going to talk about charter schools, but just so we don't confuse people, how does BAEO play into this?
Yeah, well, BAEO is a national school reform organization founded by black people, and our real purpose is to ensure that all black children have the opportunity to get into a quality educational environment. And so we support charter schools, we support scholarships and vouchers, and we support tax credits, whatever environment that would allow our kids to be well educated. We think parents need to be able to access those.
Charter schools have taken off here, and in New Orleans, Baton Rouge and New Orleans has seen an explosion. But Kenneth, there is so much misinformation and misunderstanding about what charter schools are, what they do, how they're funded. Let's start from the very, very basics, okay?
Yeah. Well,
what is a charter school?
Well, the first thing I think that people need to understand is that charter schools are public schools. In every sense of the word, they're public schools. The only thing is they aren't operated by the traditional school system. They essentially give a local group of citizens a license to go out and operate a public school. They're open to all kids, but they operate with, I think, a couple of different structural arrangements that allow them to, at least potentially, to be more successful. One is that nobody's assigned. They're schools of choice, and so parents decide that, I like what this school is proposing, and so I want to be a part of it. Teachers also have that opportunity. So you get that choice element, so everyone is making an affirmative decision to be a part of that school, and we think that gives them a great chance for success.
So in other words, the money that the taxpayers pay into the school system doesn't necessarily just flow to a school. It follows the child wherever the child goes, and the parents have the choice to put their children where they think the children will do best.
Absolutely right. And it's a great parent empowerment tool because it allows for the first time parents to have some say in where and how their kids are educated.
But what about accountability? Who's holding the charter school accountable?
Yeah. Well, they're a great thing. There's a multi-tiered accountability structure that's in place for charter schools that, again, we think is more advantageous. One, for example, is the parent piece. If parents don't like the school, if they're not operating well, parents will pull their children out. The school won't have enough resources to operate.
Right.
There's also government accountability. So there's a performance contract that indicates the performance that the school needs to be able to meet in a certain period of time. If they don't do it, the school can be closed. So there is, I think, a much greater level of accountability that exists in those schools.
There are 91 charter schools here in Louisiana. 91. There are 16 in Baton Rouge alone. It's school. It's all about testing. How are the schools doing?
Well, they're doing very well. There was a national study that was done last year by the folks at Stanford University, and they determined that while charter schools' performance in the country was mixed, in Louisiana they're doing significantly better than their traditional public school peers. So it was just a fabulous study, and it looked at really charter schools and looked at the student populations as far as race, special needs, and across the water, the charter schools did better.
If you'd like to find out more, let's give you a couple of websites here. First of all, you can go to LACharterschools.org. Also, let me add BAEO, BAEO.org. Very simple website, great information there. BAEO.org or LACharterschools.org. Thousands of students being educated.
Yeah, absolutely. 35,000 in Louisiana. About 5,000 charter schools nationally. Wow. So really starting to take off.
It's good stuff.
Thank you very much.
For shedding some light and clearing up maybe some confusion for people.
Thank you very
much.
much.
All right, thank you so much.